Welcome back from the break. You're still watching This Week, and I'm Somna Sambu. Now, the constant complaints about poor electricity supply and consumer service in Abuja have got residents urging the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company to improve its services and fulfill its obligations to energy consumers in the Federal Capital Territory to prevent energy bypass and theft of electricity supply. These were some of the conclusions during an electricity consumer protection conference in Abuja. Lawmaker representing the Amak Buhari Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives, Honorable Chinedu Obika, urged all community leaders to encourage their people who have electricity challenges to submit written complaints for more intervention, while urging the AEDC to reduce incidences of overbilling and poor supply of electricity meters. Now, keynote speaker Professor Sharif Ibrahim of the University of Abuja emphasized the need to protect the rights of consumers while calling for the monitoring and evaluation of laws to ensure that electricity distribution companies do not continue to exploit Abuja residents.
I have received numerous complaints concerning electricity billing, metering, disconnections, handling safety standards, and absence of electricity in some rural communities due to infrastructural challenges, among others. It is in the light of this that I had to consult all stakeholders in the power sector to find a way of resolving these complaints. There is absence of data on the actual number of metered and unmetered consumers in Amak and Buhari Federal Constituency. Hence, it is difficult to know the actual revenue being generated or lost by Abuja Electricity Distribution Company, AEDC, in the constituency. This makes it difficult to make a case as it regards electricity theft.
All right, the lawmaker representing Amak Buhari Federal Constituency in the National Assembly, Honorable Joshua Obika, was speaking while they now joins us to take a holistic look at this. Thank you so much, Honorable, for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Mr. Sambu.
Yeah, I mean, you've just mentioned lots of complaints. Actually, there have been epileptic power supply, especially in different parts of the Federal Capital Territory, specifically within your constituency where the seat of power is located. We've had all of this. What sort of response are you getting from the distribution companies and then, of course, other government agencies?
Well, that's why we called for such a stakeholders meeting where all parties involved, both people at the receiving end, which is the consumers, and those who are offering the services, that is AEDC, and those who is their job to monitor the activities of AEDC and the rest, come together so that we can provide a solution to this kind of problem. Because, Mr. Sambo, I can tell you that since I came into the office, I know of about more than 30-something letters that have been written from communities, different communities in my federal constituency, complaining the issue of not having light in their different communities. And mostly the problem is as a result of the bad state of their transformers, which is transmitting this electricity to them. And you know, such demands, some of them don't know actually what our work is. They thought that I'm the one that's supposed to approve and order for the transformer to be installed, and you know, and that is the kind of letters that I'm receiving. And just sitting down like that and waiting upon these people, that is their job to do it, while you see them not doing it. My response to that is to have this kind of forum where everybody comes together for it. And I find out that on the issue of the consumers, there is no consumer complaint desk anywhere or unit, both in the Ministry of FCT or in the area councils or anywhere whatsoever. And that ought to have been done long ago. And you see, if you are talking about that, Abuja is a special place. So anybody that is handling the business of electricity in Abuja should be up and doing.
So what is the AEDC's response to some of this?
Well,
because I mean, the electricity has been privatized and they're in charge, and then these issues keep mounting.
Yeah, and in the time past, nobody has ever called them for such a meeting. So I believe they were taking some certain things for granted. But for now, knowing that is through legislation that mandate was given to them to get into such business. So we still have the powers to oversight whatever that is their activities. And they ought to also have enlightened the consumers on what is their right, the role the consumer is supposed to play, and their own rules too. And the consumers are not aware of so many of these things. And that is exactly what we were able to achieve during this stakeholders meeting, because we are able to bring all the interested parties, and the consumers were enlightened on what is their own right. As far as
some of them have been pushing it to NEC. I mean, saying
yes,
that
some of them have been pushing it to NEC. But if without people like us in government, who are the representative, who will champion their cause, like now I have opened a consumer complaint desk in my federal constituency office, and I have also urged the local government to do same, and the Ministry of the Federal Capital Territory. When we that are in government offices are doing that with them, if this complaint is led to us and we make sure that the appropriate things are done, I don't think EADC have any excuse to give as regards to this kind of situation that we have presently in Abuja.
Now, let's talk about the issues of Band A, Band B, Band C, and all of that. Yes. I mean, some consumers, especially within the city center, are complaining that they place them on Band A. Yes. Meanwhile, they don't live in affluent areas.
Of course.
And you see where you are in Band C, but your neighbor is placed in Band B.
Yes.
So how what did the AEDC say?
It's through this kind of process that they can lay their complaints. And if in the time past, their complaints are not being attended to, with this channel now, being that the people that is their duty also to protect the interests is everyone in government, in the administration. It's our duty to see that our people are not cheated, that the right things are done. Through these channels now, I can tell you that every complaint will be followed up. If you are in a place whereby, because anywhere you find yourself was allocated by you by the government, even if it's in the midst of the business area, you will not be tied to it that this is a commercial area because of that. If the allocation has to do with residency, it's just that residency, you should not be charged as if it's a commercial area. It's your right to complain about it, and for EADC to see such complaints addressed. So right now, with what we have done, and we have brought everybody on board, I think we will be expecting something different from now going forward.
Well, I hope the AEDC didn't also bring its own complaint to you, because they say government, ministries, department, agencies are not paying for power supply, including the presidency and all of that. So, and they need to recoup their investments.
Of course, and
I don't know if they did that.
A government that leads by example. If we are telling individuals and businesses to pay up their money, government should be the one leading it first. I support EADC as far as that is concerned. Government should be able to pay up, because all these things are budgeted in the budget. There is no year the amount it takes every arm of government to use to settle their bills as regards to NEPA bills, water bills. They are all accommodated in the budget.
Well,
I don't see any
says
reason
they are not paying, and they are going to cut off public power supply.
Illegal connections too. And we also talk to our community leaders to make sure that they talk to their community, the people residing in their communities, not to engage in such activity if they want the light, the constant light. Because if you don't pay ADC, they will not have enough money to fund their business. And when they don't fund it, when there's problem in your community, it cannot be sorted out.
Now, you've brought community issues up, and I know you've been visiting lots of communities here and there.
Yes.
Talk to us about the issues of transformers, purchase, and all of that, and how it's become a very huge issue. And sometimes even communities write to you saying that they need transformers, they need power supply here and there. How have you been handling those sort of complaints?
You see, this kind of thing is supposed to be an investment that's supposed to be made by AEDC. It's their business. Anything that will take you to make Arise work, you are the one that will put it in place before you can now attract the customers that will come and patronize you. But you see, even the law also says that when such communities, maybe they have a transformer issue and they contributed money to purchase such transformer, such money should be refunded to the community.
Well, I doubt if that has ever
that
been
has never happened. That has never happened.
Yeah.
So you see, but with this kind of forum that we brought people together now and discuss, everyone involved, both those that is their duty to make sure that AEDC do the right thing, will work up to their duty.
How about rural communities within the Federal Capital Territory? Most times, most people come here and see only the Abuja city center and they think that's where it starts and ends. But you keep going around, I mean, apart from seeking for votes, now you're in power.
Yes.
To get the feelers from local communities. How are people coping with the high electricity bill? People are unable to eat so much and all of that. Sometimes some families have had to be switching. Someone was telling me that they switch off their devices by 8 a.m. and only put it on by 8 p.m. again when they get home and they are using power supply.
You see, Mr. Sambo, the most annoying thing here is this. How can people rent a house for 80,000 for a whole year? And in that same one single room, without even a toilet in it, you have to go out of the room to go for sanitary needs. Then you were asked to pay sometimes 15,000, 20,000
per month.
I wonder what kind of amenities that those people have in their room. These are villagers. You have lights, maybe TV and fan. So really, I believe that AEDC should do more in the terms of even metering and other things. And issue of bulk billing. Bulk billing now is against the law. Because sometimes they will just come into the village and bill a whole village a certain amount. So how do you determine how much light was consumed by the whole village? You know,
one of the things some others have told me is that they are cutting themselves off public power supply because, like you said, someone's renting a room in a village. I mean, 80,000. 150,000, and in the whole year the electricity bill seems to be like about 500,000.
500,000. So how do you justify that? You know, and so, that has even brought hardship to our rural communities. Without electricity, there will not be anything like viability economically in our rural communities. When you have light, someone can open a small salon there, someone can have a grinding machine there, someone can have, you know, people can engage themselves into different businesses. So this is a very important thing to our communities down in the rural areas.
Are you planning any form of legislation? What could be done? Because you're a federal lawmaker, I mean.
Let me say
and you have lots of networks.
Mr. Sambo.
President Tinubu lives under your constituency.
The laws that we have already is enough for the right thing to be done. It's just for the people who is their duty to follow things up. Those that is their duty to oversight, just like I am doing now, have to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking of consumer protection here.
Of course, there is a Consumer Protection Commission already existing. We have all those things. It's just to make sure that all of them do what they are supposed to be doing. You know, every day in Nigeria, they will tell the lawmakers, make law about this, make law about that. But if you go to the Constitution and look deep, you will see that such relevant laws that will help to tackle such issues are already in place. It's just the individuals that is their job to make sure that such things are implemented are not doing so.
Well, as we try to round off this conversation very quickly, have you been working with the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, to talk about this? Because I just want to bring political questions to your table now. This is for the very first time since I've known Abuja that the Southerners that are running the city. From the president, he's a Southerner, down to the minister of FCT is a Southerner, the senator is a Southerner. You yourself, the honorable member. Well, well, there are disputes here and there. She's part Yoruba, she's part from Kwara and all of that. And then you are a Southerner. So there's a lot of expectations politically from you people who are running the city this time around. How have you been handling issues alongside the presidency and the minister? Because President Tinubu is the governor of FCT officially.
But, let me say here that for me, I have a good working relationship with the minister. If there's any need of what I think that I should have to, get his attention, I write to the minister, and let him know, and have the copy in my office as an evidence at each time. But let me say this: the minister have done well in the city by opening up all the roads that are not completed for years. He has done a good job at that. But my area of emphasis is in our rural communities. When people come here, they think that is what they see in the city here. I have 22 electoral wards, and it's only about 9 of them that have, government presence. The rest is right there in our rural communities. So we need to open our rural communities up. When we do, that will help us to decongest the city. That will bring more security to the city. We can achieve a lot. If you go now, like our schools, like our hospitals are not in good shape. I can tell you that. Some of them are not having what they should be having. Even though that I cannot lay that blame on the present administration, but this is still APC government.
All right, yes. Just before I let you go, I'm wondering why you haven't been complaining like your senator counterpart, Ireti, Senator Ireti, who says she's been sidelined in the FCT committees. Just very quickly.
Well, I can talk on the part of House of Representatives where I belong. Right. My senator can speak on the side of Senate.
But you are the same party members.
I'm not a senator.
I'm
a House member.
You are the same members from
Mr.
the Labour
Santo,
Party.
I'm a House member.
Well, Honorable Obika, it means it looks like they are eating the food alongside with you.
No, which food? There is no food to be eaten.
Because your senator counterpart is complaining that it looks like she's only perceiving the aroma, but the food is not getting to her.
All of us individually have a way of communicating to the minister.
Right.
And my own channel, I am using that, and that is all I can tell you for now.
All right. We must thank you so much, Honorable Obika. Yes. Joshua Obika is the member representing the Amagbwari Federal Constituency, and of course, he has helped us to understand the consumer complaints being brought about by Abuja residents who are complaining about epileptic power supply, overbilling, and the issues of metering. We must thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Mr. Sambo.
Well, even though he's escaped the political questions, we hope to have him some other day. That's the much we can take on this edition of This Week. Thanks to our production team here in Abuja, Lagos, and London. Do join us same time next week for another exciting edition. I'm Somna Sambo.